What is up everyone, it's Marco Roli here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be doing a theory analysis or breakdown for Polyphia's ABC. So if you guys know some music theory, this will be helpful for you guys. But if you guys do not have any music theory knowledge, I recommend you guys to subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading some music theory lessons soon. But to get you guys started, here are 5 things you need to know if you have zero music theory knowledge. First thing, you gotta know the notes on your guitar, alright? Second thing, you gotta know what intervals are. Third thing, you gotta know what notes make up a chord. Fourth thing, you gotta know what chords are there in a single key. And the fifth thing, you gotta understand the relationship between the chords. So very straightforward. You guys can do some Googling and some YouTubing about those stuff. But for now, let's dive into Polyphia's ABC. To start it out, I tapped this entire tab on my own. Okay, I didn't buy it from Tim's website, but I watched him do the playthrough on YouTube and I tabbed it out. So the key is based off E minor. Okay, the first chord is E minor, not C sharp minor as per the original song, because my guitar's in standard tuning too. So anyway, let's get started. We're going to analyze it in E minor or G major. So what I like to do is I like to analyze theory based off the relative major, even though the song's key is in minor. So we're going to be looking at it through G major, okay? It's just a different way of looking and understanding the same thing. So that's music theory, you know? What we want to do is we want to understand. We don't want to be like, oh, that guy says this, that guy says that, you know? We just want to understand what the player or the composer is doing, okay? So let's get started. So we're going to look at 2 things, macro and micro. So macro is the whole big picture, and micro we're going to zoom in, okay? So if you look at the tab that I tabbed out, which I would say is 90-95% accurate, you have these chords and then you have these notes. So if I were to analyze them, this is what I would get. I would get these chords on paper, as you can see on the screen. And basically there are 2 types of chords that we have. We have diatonic chords and non-diatonic chords. Diatonic chords are chords in a key, and non-diatonic chords are chords outside the key, right? So let's analyze what chords are in the key and what chords are outside the key. So first line, most of them are in the key. We have a 6. Then we have the B7, which is a 5/7 of a 6. So there's 2 different ways you can look at it. You can look at it as in the key or out the key, depending on what minor that you're thinking of. So there's 3 minors. There's the natural minor, there's the harmonic minor, and there's the melodic minor. So if you're looking at it from the harmonic and melodic minor, that's in the key, but if you're looking at it from the natural minor, that's not in the key. I would consider it a diatonic chord because those 3 minors, they're interchangeable. As long as the song is in minor, they're always interchangeable. So that's in the key, 5/7 of the 6. Then we have the 6 again, then we have the 2 minor, then we have the 4 major, 5/7 of 6 again. So in the last line, we see a chromatic thing happening. We have the 6 minor going to a flat 6 minor, going to a 5 minor, and then ending with a 6 minor. So there we go. So let's look at things from a micro's perspective. So we're going to zoom in now, okay? So what Tim Henson likes to do is he likes to play like the chord or a note at the start of the bar or at the start of notes to highlight the chord changes that are going to happen. So in the first bar, we see that there is a E note. So it gives us a clue, it's either E minor, E major, whatever, but then the melody tells us it's an E minor. Pretty straightforward because there's a G note right there. Then it goes to the 5/7 of 6. So you see the first notes that he played is the B note in bass and the A note on top. So that gives us a big clue. It could either be a B7 or B minor 7. Then we have a D sharp diminished triad. So that tells us that, hey, a D sharp diminished triad with a bass note will give us a B7. Pretty straightforward. Then we see here, same thing, E minor. Then we have an A minor / C, okay. So you see here, there's an E note in the bass. That could mean that it could be an E something, but E is also a chord tone of A minor. So that could just be an A minor chord, okay. Pretty straightforward. Then it goes to the 4 major, 5/7 of 6 here. And the flurry of notes that he did is just basically a chord tones of B7. We have the D sharp, we have the F sharp, we have the A, right? Pretty straightforward. And I just want to highlight the ending. The ending is pretty cool. So he does the chromatic thing going down, E minor, E flat minor, D minor, really cool stuff. So if I were to analyze it, most of it in E minor is just the E minor 7 chord tones, which are E, G, B, D. Then he goes to an E flat minor here, and I love what he did is he plays 2 notes from the E minor and slides it down to E flat minor to highlight that he's going to the E flat minor, right? So it's also pretty straightforward. Most of it is the E flat minor chord tones, right? So we have the E flat, D flat, we have the G flat, we have the B flat, and then the last note of E flat minor 7 is a B natural, which is a flat 6 in relation to E flat minor, and that's just a beautiful color, very nice, but very fast, so you can't really hear it as well. Then it goes to the D minor 7, pretty straightforward. It's just a D minor arpeggio with a 9 there, the E note. And then bam, he plays a G note in the bass in the 5th string, and then he does an E minor harmonic thing at the top. So that last part, you know, there's 2 ways to look at it. You know, you can either look at it as a G major thing or an E minor thing, depending on how you perceive it, because both are interchangeable, the relative major and relative minor. So there's a few ways you can look about it. If it's an E minor, try it with a G bass, G note in the bass. It's a G major chord, or it could be like an E minor first inversion. It just depends on how your ear perceive it. Okay, like I said, it's just different ways of looking at the same thing. So there you have it. If you guys want the tabs, you know, it's on my Patreon page. So if you guys like this theory breakdown, let me know, comment down below. And I'll be doing more theory lessons. I hope this helped you guys, you guitar players out there, and you know, send me some recommendation on what you guys want to learn, what you guys want me to break down, and see you guys in the next video. Cheers, peace out.